My next guest is going to be taking on Yadong Song coming up here at UFC 259 on March 6th. It is Kyler Phillips back here on the program. The Matrix. Kyler, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good, man. Doing great since last time I talked to you. How you doing, man?
No complaints. Happy to be talking to you. Happy to see you get a fight on this mega card. It seemed like you got a lot of notice for this one. Was that the case? When did you find out about it?
A while ago. I tried, once I found out. I was trying to just fight whoever, but my manager hooked me up, and as soon as I heard this thing, I was like, yeah, let's go. So I'm excited about this, and I'm coming ready to play hard. So I can't wait to rise up to the challenge.
And right amount of time off in between fights. Like I know you wanted to get in there right away, but is this good to keep sharpening the iron in the gym and all that, and get back in into decent amount of time off?
Well, I mean, whether I fight, even like my coach would say, whether I fight once a year or 5 times a year, I'm a student of the game, and I'm a student of the art. So I'm always learning things and always trying to sharpen tools just because I love it. I'm not just going in there during camp and trying to get in shape real quick and fight, or I'm not just gonna bite down and start swinging. Like there's a sweet science to this game, and there's also a really fun part that I find in learning and getting better. And that's why I just love this. I'm 25 right now, and I really feel like there's so much more I could accomplish, and I'm just kind of like touching the surface. And why not? Why not go all the way? Why not spend the time to do everything correctly and make yourself a balanced fighter on all different levels? And when the time is right, you start pulling the triggers and start going and just start stepping forward and saying what I have to say.
Let's talk about Song Yadong here. 16-4-1 record. What do you know about him? How do you feel like you match up against him here?
I feel like I match up against him great. Everybody's got a plan until they get hit, like Mike Tyson says. But yeah, the guy hits hard, and he's got a strong game. He trains at alpha male. They do a lot of body lock stuff. They do some scrambling, wrestling, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I know my skills, and I also know how hungry I am, and I also know where I'm willing to go. And I just don't think that at this level, guys like that will be able to compete. But we'll see. We'll drag him into deep waters, and we'll see what he's made of, And I know he's prepared, and he's going to come in trying to take my head off, and that's exactly what I want. So
I know you're really focused on what you bring to the table, not focusing as much on your opponent. But, his last 2 fights have been kind of controversial, right? He had the controversial win over Chito Vera, and then he had the draw with Cody Stamann. Why do you think that happens in fights? Is it the style matchup? Is that something you're even aware of, that he's had some of these controversial fights?
I think it happens, man, all the time. Literally all the time. Judges and stuff like that. But, he's got a good right hand. He likes to time his right hand. And, in that one fight, the guy threw a little inside leg kick, and he timed it, and chucked it over the top. He kind of looped it. What else? He's got some good techniques, good basic style, which is gonna play pretty well towards my game as well. I just those decisions, you gotta really show the game that what's good in all different areas, and I feel like those matches were very close, and when it's like that, you have to show that, hey, this is what else I bring to the table, and it's got to be it really has to show to the judges, because you never know with the judges. You really just never know. Yeah. You got to just smoke these dudes.
You got 2 of your teammates, your buddies coming up and fighting as well. You got Casey Kenny and Mario Batista. I saw you training with them. How's camp going right now? Because I'm sure it's good when you have a couple teammates that are fighting at the same time you are.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's very exciting to see that type of energy. Plus that card, man. That card is
so
sick,
stacked.
Dude.
Oh my god,
dude! You got was it Adesanya,
Blachowicz, Anderson, Nunes, Jan Sterling, and you know what? Casey's fight against Dominic's super interesting too.
Yeah, right after me, and then Mario was fighting, and then there's a bunch of other fights, and I just think that type of energy right here in Vegas it's going to be cool. It's just going to be a cool experience, everybody coming in, and we just got to make sure we stay safe and nobody gets COVID or anything. And so that's all we're doing. We're just buckling down and training, and the level of excitement when you bring your team there. It's kind of like a boy band or like some type of wrestling camp. It feels like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But, we got a lot of guys in our corners, and we're bringing basically a whole squad. And then seeing Dominic over there, and then bantamweight champion being challenged. So, and plus, Stylebender, he always just brings some crazy energy. So I think it's just going to be a fun week. It really is.
How's Casey looking ahead of the fight with Dom? I talked to him right when the fight was announced. I know it's a huge opportunity for him because not a lot of people get to fight Dominic Cruz, but getting to work with him, how's he looking ahead of the big fight?
He's looking really good. Casey, he's constantly growing and evolving as well, and he's not just the same all the time. And I think, Dominic, I give all my hats off to him, what he's done in the game, in the division. But I do feel like he's on a 2-fight losing streak, and I do feel like what worked in the past for him, that style was advanced for his time, but I think he stuck with that style and didn't change as much. I mean, a little bit, but now I feel like the game is kind of starting to evolve more and more, and you have to constantly bring new things to the table. There's too many parts of the game, especially even if you're elite, you have to be elite in multiple areas and being ready to have any type of fight, because the fight's not always just going to be the way you want it, and if you want to bring it to that way, like Dominic, he wants guys to swing at him how they used to swing at him, but people are not doing those type of techniques as much all the time. So we'll see, but Casey's prepared.
I also saw you working with Bryce Meredith, the NCAA Division I wrestler. I think that's his credentials. What's it getting like working with him?
He's got that funk wrestling, man. He's got that super, because there's two styles of wrestlers. There's those guys that are just super heavy on top, holds you, and he's got that strong grip, strong snap down, but it's all over the place and a lot of chain wrestling and stuff like that. It's really good for the mind. And that's right up my alley as well. If you guys have seen with my striking abilities and my ground transitions, I really like to chain things together to get a step ahead. And then it's more of a chess game there. And, it's been fun.
How long have you been working with him?
He's a cool kid, too. He's been at the lab for a little bit. We just hang out. I actually brought him. I was going to bring him on my podcast last week. But we go on hikes and hang out and stuff. He's super chill dude. And he's just getting his striking up right now so he can get some fights.
How's the fight playing out on March 6th?
I'm going to take him out. Whether it's 3 rounds, 1 round, or 2 rounds, I'm going to be ready. But I think we'll see. We're gonna push him in the first. He's going to come out hot. And then after that, we're going to see if he's going to fade or if he's going to get more emotional and try to hit harder. So, if he's whatever he plans out, it's not going to be him dictating. He's going to be in my world. You know what I mean? It's I got the terrain in the Matrix world. I'm going to take the red pill. He's going to come into my Matrix world, and I'm going to be like, all right, you want to come swim? Come to the ocean. And I'm going to take him deep to the deep side. And what's wrong? You can't swim with the sharks. All right, maybe he can. I'll take him to the Rocky Mountains, and you don't got balance. You can't, play this game with me. And I'm going to take him to the sky, and we're like, what's wrong? You don't got wings? You can't fly? So that's all. I'm just, playing it a little bit, and I can't wait until that day. It's going to be amazing.
Where do you feel like a win over Song Yadong sort of puts you in the grand scheme of things? It gets you, higher in the rankings and all that, I'm sure. But have you thought of sort of the implications of this fight?
Yeah, I'm just going to enjoy the moment, and all it's going to do is going to raise the bar for me, but I already know where I'm at right now. And, it's just going to keep the eyes. It will be a little bit better for the community, MMA community, to see get a little bit more popular. And then as far as the community, and then from there, it's just a constant climb. And you got to take all these people who are standing in front of me, and I'm going to take them out. And it's not going to be, it's either you or me, and it's going to be me. And I don't care what that takes. And at this point, for the longest time, it's you kind of you're kind of in and out. You're kind of a lot of fighters are oh, I want to be champion with this, or, they're kind of halfway in the door and then like half-hearted out, but I'm all the way in, and I'm just ready to be greatest ever. I'm ready to put not just all the time into it, but to do everything right mentally, to be the smartest fighter, to be, the most composed fighter, to have the biggest heart in there when I fight, also physically doing the right things as well, and just, find that balance of a true martial artist. I think it's all coming down, and I'm going up to the clouds. I'm looking up to the clouds. I'm keeping my hopes high, but I'm bringing the thunder down. I'm bringing the lightning, and I'm making it rain. So we're going to bring it for sure.
You mentioned your podcast there. How's all that going? Getting into the media space.
It's good. I had a couple, because COVID and stuff, so a couple people kind of things happened, but I got a pod with my little brothers a couple weeks ago. So pretty much this whole camp, I have 3 little brothers. They all trained. 2 of them are like kids, jiu-jitsu and wrestling, boxing. One is 14, one is 20, and one is 17. So they're out here. They've been with me for like a month just training. They got their Nikito Kai blue belts, so now they're senpais, which is instructors. And we've been just hanging out and stuff. And like, I forgot what the question was.
I was just asking how the podcast was going.
Oh, yeah. So we did a pod. And so they're kind of just like hanging out here and learning that whole thing. So basically it's just been me and them. They've been dieting as well with me and training and, just in the car. So we did the pod. Yeah, back to the pod. The pod's cool. I think I'm going to put a bunch more in there after my fight. I was doing a lot of media stuff before, like vlogs and stuff like that. In the past few weeks, I've been more focused on the fight. So after this, I got something to keep building up on.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a great card, maybe card of the year. UFC 259 is coming up here March 6th. Kyler, thanks so much for the time, man. I know you're a busy guy. Just remind people where they can get a hold of you on social media, and if you got any sponsors or shout-outs, I'll give you the last word. Kai Matrix, KYMATRIX. You know what's good. And then also that's on my Twitter, Instagram, plus, what is that? My YouTube channel is just Kyler Phillips. So I got a bunch of YouTube videos on there now. That's where I'm putting all my content. So you guys check me out. Can't wait to see you guys. Have a good day, brother.